You won't believe what happened to this woman, all because of a tattoo. Rachel Wandeto never imagined that a decision to publicly show support for a leader would place her at the center of a national tragedy. But what unfolded next shocked an entire country. She was confronted by unknown men. She was left with life-threatening injuries. She fought for her life in the hospital. Government officials visited her bedside. Doctors assured the public that she was receiving the best care possible. But at exactly 3:45 a.m., everything changed. And what happened during her final hours raises questions that Kenya is still trying to answer. Stay with me, because the truth behind Rachel Wandeto's last moments is heartbreaking, complex, and deeply unsettling. Now, before we get into the final hours, you need to understand who Rachel Wandeto was. Recently, she gained public attention after getting a tattoo of President William Ruto's face, along with the slogan, two-term, meaning 2 terms. For some, it was an expression of political support. For others, it sparked debate. But no one expected what would happen next, and this is where the story takes a devastating turn.
Lakini ni huu ni president ndio? Waonyeshe wengine. Onyeshe. We kuja pole kijana mdogo. Tam, waonyeshe kwenye maandiko tam. Hizi ni tam, alafu 2 tam.
On a Friday night along Obama Road in Mwiki, Kasarani area, Rachel was reportedly confronted by 3 masked individuals. Investigative agencies say that she was attacked and left with critical injuries. The injuries were severe. Doctors later confirmed that she had sustained burns covering approximately 70% of her body. 70%. Pause and think about that for a moment. She was rushed to the Kenyatta National Hospital, one of the country's leading referral facilities. Immediately, the story began spreading across social media. News outlets picked it up. Public reaction was intense. Was this an act of political intolerance? Was it a targeted attack? Was there something more behind it? Authorities quickly launched investigations, but that is not all, because what happened inside the hospital became just as critical as what happened on the streets. Doctors at the Kenyatta National Hospital began emergency treatment immediately. Specialized teams were assembled, and on Sunday, the Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen and Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja visited her at the hospital. They condemned the attack. They were briefed by doctors. They reassured the public that Rachel was receiving the best medical care available. At this point, there was still hope. Hope that she might recover. Hope that the worst was behind her. But as medical professions know, recovery from extensive burns is unpredictable and extremely complex. And then came the night that changed everything. It was during surgery, and according to reports, Rachel developed serious complications. Her condition became unstable. She crashed, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Doctors worked urgently to stabilize her. She was rushed to the intensive care unit at approximately 3 a.m. Family members waited anxiously. Hospital staff fought to save her, and at around 3:45 a.m., Rachel Wandeto was pronounced dead. The family was notified. The country woke up to devastating news, and the story that had already shaken the nation now turned into a tragedy. The reaction was immediate. Social media flooded with tributes. Some expressed heartbreak, others expressed anger, and many demanded for justice. Political leaders condemned the act. Citizens debated on the broader implications. Was this about political intolerance, freedom of expression, safety in communities. Now, the National Police Service and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations confirmed active investigations. Preliminary findings suggest the motive may be linked to political disagreement. However, authorities emphasized that investigations were ongoing. They urged the public not to speculate, and they promised accountability, but questions remained. Who were the masked individuals? Was this premeditated? Was Rachel specifically targeted? Or was this a broader message intended to create fear? The uncertainty created tension across the country, and whenever motive is unclear, speculation fills the vacuum, which is why investigators moved carefully, strategically, methodically, because the stakes were now national. This story touches something very deep: identity, belief, freedom. When someone expresses a personal belief publicly, especially through something permanent like a tattoo, it becomes part of who they are. Rachel's tattoo was not just ink, it was a statement. Whether people agreed with it or not, it represented her personal choice. The emotional weight of this case lies in the tension between expression and consequence. It forces people to ask difficult questions. Are we becoming less tolerant? Are we listening to each other? And where is the line between disagreement and hostility? These questions are bigger than one incident, and that is why this story continues to resonate. Beyond politics, beyond investigations, beyond debates, there is a family grieving, a community mourning, a life that ended too soon. Rachel was not just a headline. She was a daughter, a musician, a woman with dreams, and now those dreams are gone. This is the part that often gets lost in public disclosures, the human part, the quiet grief behind the noise. Investigators say that they are working to identify and apprehend those responsible. Authorities have reaffirmed commitment to justice, but justice takes time. Evidence must be gathered, statements recorded, forensics analyzed. Until then, the country waits, and while waiting, the conversation continues. The case highlights the dangers of intolerance in any form. Political differences exist in every democracy. Debate is normal, disagreement is normal, but harm is never acceptable. If anything, Rachel's story is a reminder of how fragile peace can be when dialogue breaks down. It challenges the communities to reflect, to choose conversation over confrontation, to protect the safety of others regardless of belief, because once a life is lost, it cannot be restored. Now, let me ask you something. Where do we draw the line between passionate support and division? Do you think this was politically motivated, or is there more we still don't know? Share your thoughts respectfully in the comments, and if you believe stories like these deserve deeper conversations, consider subscribing, because we will continue to follow and update you on this case. At 3:45 a.m., a hospital room felt silent. Outside, a nation continued moving, but for one family, everything stopped. Rachel Wandeto's story is painful. It is complicated. It is emotional, but it is also important, because stories like these force societies to pause, to reflect, to choose what kind of future they want. Justice is still being pursued. Answers are still being sought. And until those answers come, one thing remains certain: this tragedy will not be forgotten. The shocking truth behind Rachel Wandeto's final hours is not just about what happened, it is about what happens next. Will justice prevail? Will lessons be learned? Or will this become another headline that fades away? Stay informed, stay aware, and most importantly, stay compassionate, because sometimes the most powerful change begins with how we treat one another.